Let's rewind the tape. Back before the legends, back before the cameras, back before the crowds. Back to a group of students at LaVergne High School staring at a brand spanking new stock Harley-Davidson Nightster and wondering if they could transform it into something special. For 174 days, that's exactly what they did. They learned, they failed, they fixed things, they rebuilt things, they solved problems, and every step of the way, they were guided by some of the biggest names in motorcycling, fabrication, racing, and craftsmanship. Then came the reveal this week. The first stop was Northern Tool in Murfreesboro, Tennessee, where family, friends, media, mentors, and supporters gathered to see 9 months of hard work unveiled for the very first time. That is awesome. That is awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, this bike will be on the track on Saturday night. It'll be in SEMA this November, all thanks to Northern Tool and this group of kids from LaVergne High School. Thank you. Thank you guys very much. Thank you, Billy. Thank you, Billy Lane, for everything. Yeah! And that's when the gremlins showed up. Now, for anyone who thinks modern motorcycles aren't packed with technology, let me tell you something. This 2025 Harley-Davidson Nightster proved otherwise. The students weren't the only ones challenged by the technology. Industry veterans, professional builders, and technical experts all found themselves chasing a handful of stubborn electronic gremlins. And somewhere along the way, we learned an important lesson. Harley-Davidson engineers are really, really good at their jobs. It turns out some things on a modern motorcycle require specialized tools, software, and wizardry that only an authorized Harley-Davidson dealer has access to. So when the bike needed help that we couldn't handle, our friends at Moonshine Harley-Davidson in Franklin, Tennessee answered the call. And they answered it fast. With the American Flat Track reveal looming, Jamie and his team opened their doors first thing Saturday morning. Yes, the same Saturday morning as the reveal. I'm not kidding. Moonshine rolled the bike onto a lift, plugged in the Magic Wizard box, chased wires, chased codes, chased a few more gremlins, and helped get the project back on track. That's what this community does. Builders help builders. Barry and Vivian held tight and waited for the bike. They loaded it and hustled back to Hodenwald, praying they didn't get a speeding ticket. It rolled into the red clay track and completed its practice laps. Watching the motorcycle circle the track under its own power was a moment of pure relief, pride, and perseverance. After weeks of chasing gremlins, hearing that engine come to life and seeing the bike make laps around the same track where America's best flat track racers compete felt like a victory all by itself. For the students, the mentors, the partners, and everyone who had invested their time into the project, it was proof that the challenge had been worth it. The bike was real. It ran. It rode. It looked like other real race bikes that belong on that track. The motorcycle came off the track to cheers, high fives, and more than a few sighs of relief. Final bike checks were made. The cover went back on. Then it was time. Thousands of fans filled the grandstands. The students took their places. And when the signal came, the LaVergne team stood shoulder to shoulder, ready to reveal what they had created. Let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Northern Tool Legends build. Here it is. Woo! Yeah. Now, if we're being honest, the gremlins weren't quite done with us yet. The microphone me and Jamie from American Flat Track were using failed. The whole track sound system had a mind of its own. And when flat track legend Chris Carr climbed aboard for the planned victory lap, the motorcycle reminded us one more time that building anything worthwhile is rarely a straight line. Truth be told, what happened next felt a little like making it all the way to the championship game and losing on the final drive. Or maybe, since we're talking racing, it's more like spending an entire season fighting your way to the NASCAR Cup Series championship race, unloading at the biggest event of your life, and having a mechanical issue keep you from competing the way you dreamed. It happens. It's heartbreaking in the moment. but it doesn't erase the season. It doesn't erase the journey. And it certainly doesn't erase the fact that you earned your way there. The same was true for these students. The bike had already fired. It had already run. It had already completed practice laps around the track earlier that day. We watched it do exactly what it was built to do. What happened during the reveal didn't define the project. How the students responded did. They stood shoulder to shoulder in front of a sold-out crowd. They smiled. They celebrated. They soaked in the moment. Because deep down, they knew something important. They hadn't lost. They had already won. The victory wasn't a lap around the track. The victory was the 174 days it took to get there. The victory was learning to solve problems. The victory was turning classmates into family. The victory was standing on one of the biggest stages in motorcycle racing with a machine they had built with their own hands. Life doesn't always go according to plan. Machines break. Technology misbehaves. Gremlins show up when they're least welcome. But that's exactly why projects like this matter. Because the lessons you learn when things go wrong are often the ones that stay with you the longest. And if these students learned anything during this build, it's that perseverance isn't about avoiding adversity. It's about refusing to let adversity define you. Next, the bike heads back to Moonshine Harley-Davidson for a little more help, chasing down those last pesky gremlins before making its next appearance at the SEMA Builders Showcase in Las Vegas. Not bad for a group of high school students from Tennessee. 174 days, countless lessons, a lifetime of memories. And if you'd like to experience this journey in its full glory, the good, the bad, and yes, even the ugly, you'll be able to watch the entire challenge unfold this fall on Racer, because that's what building is. It's not perfection, it's persistence. It's showing up, solving problems, and moving forward. 174 days ago, these students started as classmates. Today, they leave as family and legends. I'm Kyle Petty. We'll see you this fall on Racer.